There's a good chance you haven't heard of the Housing and Economic Recovery Act, and yet it starts, July 30th, 2009. H.E.R.A, as it's known, is going to affect how your loan is processed, but more importantly, it's going to affect the time frames that you've become accustomed to. H.E.R.A is the new truth in lending process that will affect every borrower on every loan with every lender you work with.
The original Truth in Lending, or TIL as we currently know it, was designed to let your borrower know what the actual cost of the loan is going to be. Currently, the Truth in Lending, or your TIL, must be delivered to the borrower within 3 business days of the application for all mortgages and must inform the borrower of finance charges, the annual percentage rate, the amount financed, the schedule of payments, and total payments.
Well, there's 2 main points of H.E.R.A with respect to Truth in Lending. First, H.E.R.A states your borrower needs to be given the Truth in Lending form 3 days prior to any fees being charged, with the exception of the credit report. In other words, your lender can't even collect on an appraisal, and in the case of HVCC, order the appraisal until your client has looked at the Truth in Lending for 3 days. Well, here's the problem. How do we know when your clients actually receive the information? Well, in the case of some lenders, they're currently assuming 3 days mail time and then an additional 3 days review time, so the earliest your client will be able to move his file further down the road to docs and funding is 7 additional business days. And by the way, that assumes that the lender orders the Truth in Lending the minute that they have the opportunity.
Further, according to H.E.R.A, the revised Truth in Lending must be within 1/8 tolerance of accuracy, where before it only had to be 0.25%. That means they're tightening the screws down on this thing, guys. Given that fees start as estimates and are updated through the transaction, this means that you're more than likely to have to redisclose your Truth in Lending at precisely the moment you think you're going to sign your loan documents. What this means is you're probably looking at another 7 days at the end of your transaction. You may want to take this into consideration when looking at timeframes with your clients. To give you an idea of how many possibilities your lender has to mess up the Truth in Lending tolerance, we've been scrolling all the APR fees that could potentially derail your transaction.
So basically, H.E.R.A means at least 7 more days at the beginning of your transaction and 7 more days at the end. And could we be wrong, and could these timeframes be slightly shorter or slightly longer? Well, the honest answer is maybe. And even though H.E.R.A goes into effect just a couple of days from now, it seems only a couple of lenders have H.E.R.A guidelines in place, and the truth is, there's more questions than there are answers. We just wanted to give you a reminder in advance before you ask the obvious question of, why is this taking so long?
So here's the skinny. Your lender's going to have to lock your client's loan for a longer period of time, which is going to cost your client more money, period. Delays in escrow, well, they could cost your seller more money, period. Remember all those short sale per diems you're dealing with? Starting July 30th, you could expect further delays on closing all of your transactions. More costs, longer time frames, more paperwork, and really, more of the same. But don't worry, it's all being done in your client's best interest. Hey, if you would like to continue to get updates from the professional that sent you this video, just click the subscribe button down below. With that said, have a great day.